Gather round, everyone, make yourself comfortable. This is the Nordic Takedown. My name is Viktor, and you're listening to episode 123, where we're going to dive into the aftermath of the Galactics, or rather, just talk a little bit about how it was, because I've got two great guests with me. I've got Mark from the Boston Network. Welcome home.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here. Just, sorry, 123, do you do this weekly?
We do this weekly, yes.
So you've been doing this weekly for 2 years now?
Well over 2 years, yes.
Bloody hell, that's impressive.
Yeah, we've been around since the game launched,
You're a staple,
and we
absolutely.
don't even take a break over Christmas.
Or over Galactics, it would seem.
Yeah, that's the case. I've also got Niklas with me of the Humble Boys, and he wants it to be known that he is now not just a humble boy, he is the humble, because he's better at something than humble, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
I just want Humble to know that I am now the current leader of the Humble Boys. Now that he's on his break, we can hiatus.
Right. Well, now, the reason I'm so excited to have you guys on is because I last year we were there all three at Galactics, but this year you two went without me, and I'm
It was deliberate with forethought and malice. What can we say?
Yeah. So this episode is going to be all about your experience at the Galactics this year and try to compare it a little bit to last year and looking a bit forward to next year. Let's kick things off with your run, Niklas. What deck did you bring and how did you do?
Yeah, so I will start with the draft then, I guess. So in the draft, I got the slow one. So I played a green-red slow one deck.
Bold choice, Cotton.
Well. Yeah, I like a rare leader. Like I value pick. I'm easy. I see rare, I pick rare. But it was a pretty good deck. But Sloan is a good leader as long as you don't face like Cad Bane. But my two first rounds were against Cad Bane, so. But I won against the second one at least, so I went 2-1 in the draft after beating DJ Claro on.
Do you know how you beat that CAD particularly? Was there a trick to it? Something happened?
I would say he was American, but I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know. Maybe had bad draws or something, but it was a pretty quick 2-0 at least. But I had Gallius Rex in my deck, the one that +2 if you have 2 keywords.
Yeah,
so
nice.
with slow and everything gets +2. So
yeah,
I had a little powerful turn 6.
It's always impressive how much a single card can shift an entire deck when you come to draft or seal play. I had a similar experience with the new Sabine from Ashes, running that in an Ezra deck, and it's just like, it just takes in over the entire game. It's so impressive.
Yeah, it really is.
So after the draft, Niklas, you got to play your own deck.
Yes.
What did you build for this?
I built an Aura deck, Aura Data Vault. I was playing Cad Bane until like the Mondays before we went. And I was but I was like, I haven't got enough reps with the Cad Bane. So I was like, I will probably just stick to Aura because I played that last format. So I put in all the new broken cards and rolled with it. It wasn't as hard as that. So I had my friend and we built a deck, Johan Nilsson. So we together, like, he mostly did the building and I mostly did the playing. But we came up with a pretty good list, I would say.
And how far did it take you?
Not at all. I went 4-4, so I went with that deck. I went 2
and 3.
2-3. Right? Yeah.
Still a good record in a highly competitive environment. The most competitive environment, you might say.
Yeah. So 4-4 was my end result.
Yeah, still better than last year, right?
Yeah, last year was a total shit show, and there I played Han. So that's why I'm not just gonna pick the best deck now. I'm actually gonna pick something that I know a bit about more than just play.
Something you're more familiar with.
Yeah.
Any standout moments, like any really cool plays that you made or got put through?
I faced Justin from KTOD,
Mm?
and I got his initiative token, the KTOD initiative token, just because Victor always plays with it, and I was like, oh, I really like her, and then he was like, oh, you can have it. So I was like, okay, now Victor won't be the only one in Sweden who has it. So that was the most important thing, I think. But
Oh, nice.
otherwise, all nice opponents, like from all over the world. I think I faced two or three Americans, but otherwise everybody else was from a different country. So that was really nice.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Australia, New Zealand, Brazil. It was such a global representation. So many people I ran into in my experiences. So, yeah, I can second that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things I remember from last year. It was really global. It's pretty cool. So, Mark, you don't play in the events, like the main events. Not last year, not this year. What did you do?
So I didn't qualify this year. So I took the decision that I didn't want to play in the LCQ because if I'm going to go to Galactics, I don't want to spend my first day head down 1v1 concentrating solidly to the exclusion of all else for 8 or 9 hours in the hopes of getting 7-1, the chance of which
Yeah.
there were about 1,500 players in the LCQ and about 50 of them went through. That's
Yeah.
tiny. So I decided that I wanted to do something that I would find more fun, feed my soul, as I call it. So I spent all of Saturday playing as many on-demand Twin Suns as I possibly could, attending a couple of panels, um, doing all the pin passport stuff, going around, seeing all the artists, chatting to people, talking. On Saturday, I did a dev draft. I did a couple of Premier on demand pods because I needed more prize wall tickets than the Twin Suns pods were doing at that time.
Yeah.
And we got some of those. What else did I do? Did the Carbonite sealed in the afternoon. That was cool. I went to another panel after that, and on Sunday as well for the Homeworlds panel. That's right. I sat right in the stage for the Galactic Report, and the buzz
Yeah.
was just. I mean, seeing it from home, you might have seen Wesley refer to there was a roar on the stage when
Yeah. Yeah.
that leader appeared on the screen. That doesn't give it justice at
Yeah.
all. I was sat there and it pops up, and there's this all around me, this audible gasp, cheer, roar as the room fucking but apologies just lights up completely and takes over. It's absolutely electric. It was such an amazing moment. That was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then I spent the Sunday doing random bits of Twin Sun stuff with people who dropped out of or hadn't made day two in the main event, grinding for the last few prize wall tickets. And I would do it again
Yeah.
if I was in the same situation. Being free to go around and see what I want, do what I want, enjoy what I want, meet all these people rather than having to focus and be on a deadline all the time was really, really enjoyable. I'm absolutely going to qualify and I'm going to bloody make day two next year. Mark
Yeah.
my words. Because I've done this for a couple of years now. I'm going to do the other side. But
Hmm.
there was something very freeing and enjoyable about it. And it was really, really good fun.
I mean, you mentioned playing Twin Sons quite a bit there. And
Mm-hmm.
for those listeners that aren't familiar, Mark is the guy that makes all the Twin Sons decks in the world. Uh, if you're without a good Twin Sons deck, look in the lists for the Twin Sons forum on our Discord or any other Discord, and you will find Mark's
It's true.
he's posting these incredibly cool lists. There's paupers lists, there's lists with all kinds of cards. You'll find something. I trust me, they're really nice to have.
Mm. They're
Yeah.
all designed with commons and uncommons and maybe one cheap, rare, or legendary, just for accessibility purposes. The leaders are fluffy and enjoyable, so you can see the pairings go together, like Sabine and Ahsoka go together, or Han and
Mhm.
Chewie go together, that sort of thing. And they're really, really cheap to build and put together. So, yeah, there's the way I figured with Twin Suns for me was the way to get more people playing is to take away the excuse of, oh, I haven't built a deck yet. Oh, here's 6, pick one.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah. I love it. I love it.
It's just the most fun way to play, ultimately, at the end of the day, when you get right down to it.
It is a brilliant format. I really love it. So, guys, what did you think about the meta, like the environment to play in? Was it a good meta at the end of the day, or was the inclusion of draft a good idea? How did you feel about the play experience in the Galactics?
I felt it was pretty good, from my opinion. It might have been a bit CAD dominated, but otherwise, I think I faced one CAD,
Mm.
but only 5 rounds, or and not counting the draft rounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, from my perspective, it was pretty good. I didn't face like 5 CADs. Probably some people maybe did, but from my limited view, I had it pretty good. But then in Top Cut and stuff like that, there was more CAD dominated, so I understand that it's not everybody's experience. But I think it's pretty good how it is now. But maybe CAD needs something to be done with.
I mean,
And
last year there were about the same percentage of players on Han 2. Uh, but maybe because of the Han 2's not doing so well, a lot more people had to face them. Whereas now the CADs did quite well and ended up in higher brackets and maybe facing each other a lot.
yeah,
I'm not sure here, but that might be something to consider. How about the draft? Is it a good idea to include draft like this in this way? Were there any problems with it?
what I felt mostly was that I come from Magic, so there's in the Pro Tour, you have 3 losses to give and not
Mm,
just 2 losses. So
mm,
it was felt a bit like the draft mattered a lot since you only had 2 losses to give to be able to make day two. So that's maybe something like it would be nice to be able to give one more loss and
mm,
still make day two, since yeah, since it matters a lot because you have to go like 2-1 or 3-0. It feels to have even a chance at day two. You can't go 1-2 and then 5-0 the premier part, but that feels more hard.
mm,
But otherwise, I like the draft. It I was so like fearing the draft part because I was
mm.
like, okay, I will go 0-3 and just play Twin Suns all day. But no, I didn't. I went 2-1. I was pleasantly surprised. But yeah, I like the draft. And I didn't know how it was day two, where it only was 3 draft and then 2 premier rounds.
Mm.
Maybe it felt a bit less, but otherwise, I like the draft part of it.
Yeah. What was the vibe in the room? Were people happy with the formats and the meta? Were people complaining a lot about the CADs, or what was it? What was the tone?
No, I didn't get that tone at all. Maybe a bit, but I wasn't really. I was mostly sticking to like the Swedish gang,
Mm,
what that was that. So we didn't talk that much about it. But yeah, I could see that it was more like that if you take on a broader scale. But then also on like Friday, like it was so many draft pods firing all the time. It was also
mm,
the one with the best cash out for tickets.
mm.
That could also be a reason, but it was nice like on Friday just to play drafts and like it fired all the time. So
Because people were running draft pods so much on Friday and then sealed for the other best, not sealed, sorry, Premier for the other best return on investment for prize wall tickets. They actually
Mm.
ran out of boosters on Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they could stop running those, which was quite impressive.
I mean, I guess that's a good thing, right?
Oh.
Like that's a very good verdict. People must
Mm-hmm.
have loved it, right?
yeah, if you compare it to last year, like it was kind of hard to get a draft pod on
Mm.
Friday. I think we waited for maybe like 15 minutes when we played one, but now it fired up in like 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, yeah.
There was a difference there, and the difference was last year was a shit show, and
Yeah,
this year, frankly, this year wasn't.
yeah,
This year was like night and day. Every piece of possible criticism that we labelled or levelled at them for last year in terms of practical management of the event,
Mm.
all of it was rectified with bells on. It was so good this year.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
What was it like? What was the queuing like? What ran smooth? What things? If you haven't been to Galactics, what should you be wary of?
So last year, you'll remember that the side events queue was one line,
Mm.
a whole bunch of people, a place where a bunch of people could be, and it kind of was charitable to call it a line. And I think they started off with like 1 or 2 people on the desk to administer side events. So it's fairly clear they didn't expect them to be that big. This year, they had a dedicated person or 2 per type of on-demand event. And they had lines and barriers all pre-laid out and labeled for each type of each type of on-demand event. So not only was it managed, it was managed well, which was exceptional. They got to a point where they had you fill in a little slip for your name and ID and email on it, and then they told you just keep it rather than keep writing it on, so that they could take that in your sidewall tickets and process you in fairly quickly. Then after you'd got a side event booked, you'd go round to a corner where there was a whole bunch of other stands labelled Twin Suns and Sealed and Draft and so forth. And you'd wait for a ref to come up, call your name, your pod number, hold up a little sign and take you over to the table where you're playing. Oh, they made you fill in the forms as you went. They would not pay out prize tickets until you'd completed a round of a game.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they were actually on it. It was really, really cool.
Good stuff.
They only let me get away with having multiple winners in Twin Suns 2 or 3 times before they stopped paying out multiple winning prizes to 2 or 3 people in a Twin Suns pod, which is fair. Yeah, I can get that. That's fine. No, it was wonderful. The panels, another logistical change. So last year it was spread across the 2 floors. You had the floor where the actual convention hall was, and then below that was a hall where all the panels were taking and meeting rooms and so forth. Panels and meeting rooms not being used in the slightest. Everything was in the convention hall. The badge give out was up there. The panels were in a roped off and blacked out area off to the back. The content creators had their own area which had lights and was nice to be in.
Nice.
Yeah, go figure. The VIP area was up there as well. Everything you needed was all in this one room, rather than having to go in and out and backwards and forwards all over the place and potentially miscommunication. So that was another good thing to see.
Oh, very good. Yeah, because I wasn't even aware of where the panels were until I went to the judge panel last year, and someone helped me find it downstairs.
Yeah,
like it was so off the grid, and with the panels this year having the quality, at least from, I haven't seen any of them yet, but judging from who's on the panels, it looked like there were so many interesting panels.
It was similar quality to last year. They were very, very good. Last year, what I wound up doing, because the side events was such a disaster, you could queue for hours before getting into one, as Niklas said. I threw the towel in and went, you know what, sod it, I'm going to go and watch all the panels. And I did that, and I walked out with loads of token packs, which was really, really cool, because everybody wanted the token packs, which was great. And I learned an awful lot and saw a lot of people give their takes on things, and it was a really good thing to do at that time. I have no doubt that all the panels that I missed this time were just as good. The Homeworlds one in particular was very good to see. I've shared a bunch of pictures that I took from that panel around in various places. If you haven't found them, I'll share them somewhere else and let me know where I can do that. But yeah, it was good.
Sounds great. So at all of these major events, the price wall has always been a little bit of a bottleneck, if you will. Even when it's worked fairly fine at some of the things, like Prague obviously worked quite all right. There's always been a certain amount of queuing. How did they solve
Not
the price wall this time?
So this time there were 2 major changes that they did to the prize wall to ameliorate that. One was that they had 2 of them.
Right, perfect.
One was over by where the LCQ and competitive scheduled events are all taking place. And that was actually reserved for players in those events on Sunday, which was, again, cool. If they're going to be using it, they're going to be claiming they've claimed all of their tickets. They want to be able to do so and not have to worry about that and get in and out before the next round fires and so forth. The other thing they did, arguably the big draw this year are the Twin Sun showcases. Or were the Twin Sun showcases. They're not the things that sold out, but arguably they're the big draws. They're the most expensive items on the prize wall. You had 2 lines for each prize wall. You have a line for going to get everything on the prize wall, or if you're going to get showcases, use the second line instead.
Awesome.
It was well manned. They knew what they were doing. It was great. Every time I went to get a showcase, the guy made sure I took it, looked at it, examined it from every angle. Am I happy with it? Yes. No, there's a little mark on this one. I'll take it back. I'll get you another one until you're happy with what you're taking away. It was
So
so good.
they really went for it this
They
time.
doubled down. Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah,
exceptional.
awesome. There were paper tickets for prize wall tickets this time,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Same again.
same again. And
They did use the QR code on our entry passes for a couple of things. So the pin passport last year was abused by people who were going and getting multiple pins quite early and reselling them. This time they were restricted to one per person. That was done by checking you off with a QR code scan,
oh, good.
which was cool. That meant that a lot more people got the pins and they weren't in a rush for them all to go within the first half hour.
Yeah,
Um, I thought they were going to use a QR code scanning as well to verify the showcases, which were capped at one per showcase per person. But no, they just punch holes in positions on the bottom of the pass, and that worked equally as well. So
it's fine. It's
yeah,
fine. Sounds like they figured a lot of stuff out.
mm.
Are there anything you still feel like here is an area where we really would like them to improve?
I love that draft is part of the World Championship. I love in principle that to be world champion, you need to be good at sealed play and Premier play. In principle, I think that is exactly how it should be. In practice, a draft should run what, 3 hours, 4 hours
Yeah,
ish, maybe.
yeah, yeah,
It overran quite a bit.
yeah.
It went on a long time. And a lot of that is going to be you're managing people. You've got your eye on some of the most competitive players in the world. There's a lot at stake here, so people are going to try shit on and there are a lot of rumors of people trying shit on, which I've heard. I've not had anything substantiated, but it's reasonable likelihood it took place somewhere or other.
Hmm.
What do you think from your experience on that, Nicholas?
Yeah, it was a quite a delay until we started. Like it was supposed to start at 9. I think the first draft started at like 10 or something because first we had to get like a bit of information and then we got all our prizes. So it was quite a delay until we started drafting. And even when we started drafting, some of the pods were like getting behind or having their own judges to do their own thing. So it got like, so we had a guy on the speaker who told us when to draft and stuff, but he also was telling of other things happening. So one time it was like pick up your pack, open round 2 starts now, and then like take the next pack. So it was a bit of a mixed information. It felt like
Hmm. Hmm.
so, but otherwise I felt it took a bit far because we were supposed to have a lunch break after the draft part was done, but it had to be after round 2 instead,
Hmm.
since yeah, according to schedule, that
Mm.
was when we were supposed to have a lunch. So everything got like delayed by an hour or something. So that also affected like all my friends ate without me, but
Oh.
it was very sad.
I was also impressed at the power pod they picked off to stream for that.
Yeah.
That was impressive. Oh, is this a random seed? Is it hell?
No.
Particular shout out to the two UK players who were in that pod and did
Yeah.
quite well, as I understand it. Ollie Simmons, famous for his Akbar win at the regional, of course.
Yep.
Possibly didn't do so well this weekend because he wasn't running Akbar, but well,
Yeah.
these things happen.
At least
Um,
he did well in the drafting, it looked like.
Absolutely. Another guy was my friend Dan Hughes, who
Yep.
wasn't pre-qualified for the main event. He came through the LCQ
Hmm.
and he was in that pod
Hmm.
with Bobby, with Oliver Simmons, with Craw, with a whole bunch of really good people, and he acquitted himself really, really well. Dan did such a good job. I just wanted to shout that out and give him a bit of recognition for it.
I think the stream, because I was watching the stream through the whole night
Mhm.
every day, and I think the streaming of the draft, there a little bit of room for improvement for the stream of that, but mainly the stream was just as good as last year, and the commentating was even better because they brought in, Tawa and Josh Schneider
Mhm.
and Grumpy Elephant, who are just probably the best casting team in the world right now
Mhm.
for Swoop. And they were joined by Dan from Main Deck and Sharma
Mhm.
from the Ice Cape Pod, and they are both of them are also very very good. Probably better at play by play than analysis, but really good at play by play. So I really like the stream, but as you mentioned, the the where there's room for improvement would be with the drafting part of it. Even though they did a fine job, there it could be nice
It's
to
always going to be
see.
tricky to cover 8
Yeah,
people
yeah,
simultaneously.
yeah. I mean, maybe just have some graphics to work with to show at least so that you can see what leaders are around the table and see what's coming down before they start drafting would have been nice. And yeah, just have some inkling of what leaders the people around the point of view drafter have. It would make it a little bit less obscured, kind
So,
of.
Nicholas, I'm given to understand that the judges did something to prepare the booster packs before they were given out
Yeah.
for drafting. What exactly were the details on that?
They opened the packs. It was just like in Prague for
Mm,
the day two draft there. So they mark all the cards with a mark. No, just kidding.
Hmm.
And then so it was a little star on all the cards, and then they pre-packaged them. In Prague, we had like self boosters, but here it was just two like tapes over them or whatever.
Fair enough.
So they're
So,
all
so that goes to you then, Victor, because if they
mm.
know exactly what cards are in the booster and plan for it,
They
yeah,
could have had some graphics prepared for the feature draft. Yeah.
that's a lot of forethought. But I suppose with experience that could happen. So
I
yeah,
mean, we did it for our draft video.
okay.
It's certainly possible. Uh,
yeah.
it's a bit of work, but
But
they
it
are
might be
better
like an
at it than us.
issue of like leaking the packs
Oh,
beforehand or
that's true.
something.
That is true.
So
That is true.
maybe one of the top 8 guys gets the whole sheet or something, and
Yeah.
then
No, that's true.
The other piece of criticism I've heard from some competitive players, not all, but some, is that the judges were very draconian in their rulings and what they were doing and controlling the games. I appreciate why to a point because this is a very high stakes tournament. You've got to make sure people aren't taking the piss, they're not messing around. Um, but to the point where you're forbidding people from talking or chatting or just engaging with anyone else out of appreciate you're going to try and avoid the risk of collusion within a pod, but no bants or just even a chat or a hey or a hello and the threat of a warning. I don't know. There's got
Yeah.
to be a middle ground there somewhere.
Yeah.
yeah, because we had a quite a chatty pod. So
Hmm.
Mm.
like everyone talked because we were I think we were like DJ Clara knew a guy from London, I think he was.
Mm.
So they talked quite a bit, and the guy from London like joked with everybody.
Mm.
So it was fine like before we started drafting, but after we're like done with the first pack, he makes some jokes or something. It's quite we have a quite a good time, but the
Hmm.
judges were quite like no talking. Like, but I'm fine with respecting that. Also, it should be maybe no talking, but it is just some kind of like nervous talk, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
also fine. I think.
I think I think drafting is so much harder to for the judging and
Mm.
organizers, and that's why you
Especially on
don't.
this scale.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why you don't do drafts on this scale, even like in the PQ or even the RQs. You do sealed first to whittle down the field a little bit because draft is so hard to manage
Yeah.
from the judging point of view as well as just organizing.
I
So,
think the
so
best suggestion I've heard that's been made about that is maybe don't do it for day one of main event and just do it for day
mm.
two after that whittling down that you've just mentioned. Maybe that would cut down on the sheer amount of it going on.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can handle it, it's awesome. Like
Mm,
drafting is fun,
yeah,
but it is understandably a huge tax on the judging staff and on the organizers. So I'm not sure if it's worth it to do it in day one. It
yeah.
might be more interesting to save it for day two, maybe.
The only other bad thing that I've heard about was a particular younger player from the UK. One of his final opponents, I understand, didn't play the game so much as played the player
Oh,
and was very unpleasant in how he won that particular game. That was a bad experience. So that
oh,
that sort of stuff should absolutely not be tolerated. And if you're there with people, you know people, get what
yeah,
support you need, and there are people who will help,
yeah,
who will
absolutely,
always have your back. That's just
yeah.
not cool. It's not what the Galactics are about. It's not what any kind of competitive event should be about.
it's so rare that you hear of these kinds of instances in the game.
Mm,
But when they do, m- make sure to contact people, because majority of Star Wars Unlimited players are really nice people. So
yeah.
just reach out. Someone will help you if you have a bad experience like that.
And also, the people who do this stuff won't stop unless they're dealt with, and we've got to deal with it.
Yeah, true. Um, all right. So, what would you like to see more of? Is there anything that you would like to see for next year?
Niklas, I chatted
Yeah,
a bit.
I'm thinking.
Okay.
No, but I was pretty like. I think it ran smoother than last year, and I think the main event was. I think it was easier to qualify by the last chance last year, because
Mm,
I think you could get
It
one
was.
extra loss.
Yep.
yeah.
I don't know what type I prefer, but if but
I have a theory about that. My theory is that because so many more people were pre-qualified this year than for year one, because for year one to pre-qualify you had to win a PQ. There was no other
Mm,
way to do it.
yeah,
And this year you could just build up points. So I think there are a lot more people who had pre-qualified. Possibly they wanted to have less people come through the last chance qualifier.
yeah,
Maybe. I
because
don't
I
know.
don't also know probably how many will come from the invited players.
Mm,
There probably a much bigger list of invited players, but maybe just they don't know how many will show up when they set the Friday event
no, that's true.
on how many qualifies. So it's probably for a safety reason. So there won't be like over 1,000 players.
Yeah. No, last year they did 9 rounds and you could take 2 losses. This year they only did 8 rounds, but you could also only take 1 loss.
indeed.
So I think that's a lot harder still, even with one less round. Um, yeah, that's something to think of, if there's a way through that to make the last chance qualifier feel a little bit more fair for those playing in it. But I'm not sure there, like you said, Niklas, there might not really be a good way to do that without risking the main event be too large.
Yeah.
Mm.
So next year's we had some news come through and be announced at the Galactics, and one of those news were that next year it won't be on the Venetian. I was under the impression that they had booked the Venetians for 3 years from last year, but apparently they're going to Disneyland in Anaheim,
Disneyland in
California.
California in Anaheim. Yes, that's right. It's
Yeah.
possible they did have a block booking, and maybe Fantasy Flight got Disney to say, "Excuse me, you
Mm.
know,
Hmm.
you show a little flexibility here, please, Venetian. We're
Mm.
Disney."
Yeah.
Or maybe that was just a rumor and it wasn't the case. Maybe it's just a 2-year deal. Who knows? Maybe they go back to Vegas afterwards.
Yeah.
Who knows? How do you feel about the move of location, and how do you feel about the May date?
I think the May dates matters more
Yeah.
for me, because like flying to Las Vegas or Los Angeles, it's pretty much the same thing. It feels like flying from Europe at least. So, but the May date will be interesting because it will be so much earlier.
Mm.
There's a few things to this to unpack. There's a few implications here. One is that it won't be quite as bloody hot as Vegas, which is nice. It'll be more like, well, it'll be 2 months earlier, so it's not quite the height of summer, and it'll be more temperate anyway due to the benefits of sheer location, which is only a good thing.
Mm.
Secondly, I describe Vegas as a evil theme park for adults. It'll be much nicer to have a more Disneyland feel,
Yeah.
and who knows, maybe they could have the final take place in the Millennium Falcon itself at Galaxy's Edge. It's highly unlikely you can get a streaming setup in there, but we could do some cool stuff. That'd be nice. Um, I'm going to go regardless. In terms of cost of flights and cost of hotel stay, it's roughly on a par, give or take. The flight time from Europe is about an hour extra, which is, if you're already flying 11 hours,
Yeah,
flying 12 hours, yeah, who cares at
doesn't
that
matter.
point? A lot of people would, if they're wanting to go, might bring their families and make more of a trip of it, which I'm sure is great for Disney and Star Wars and Fantasy Flight, which is wonderful. I know that's something I'm hoping to do, so that'd be cool if we can sort it out.
Yeah.
But the big deal that is very sort of subtle and under the radar so far, has been hinted at in some of the other reveals that they've done, is tied into the May release date. And Wes confirmed on stream when they did so
Mm.
that set what, 10? I don't know. What's the
Yeah.
middle one?
Let me think.
Yeah, 10, right?
8, 9, 10. Yes,
Nine.
set 10. It will
Where are we?
have
Where
been
is it?
out for a
8, 9,
while
10. No, set
already.
11. Because set 10 is going to be the Legacy of Skywalker, and set 10 is the Gadgets one whose name temporarily escapes me. Either way, that one will be legal for Galactic 27 in Disneyland, which means that
wait.
instead of releasing in July,
Yeah.
that set will have to release before May.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? So, and we already know that Homeworlds is coming out early October, which is 6 weeks earlier than it normally is. And in its normal release spot is going to be Icons 26. So what I suspect is going to happen is that Legacy of Skywalker is going to come out not in early March, but in early February, shortening the gap between sets again, which would then mean a 3-month gap before the beginning of May for that system shock, whatever it's called, set to be released 2 weeks before Galactic's 2027 happens. And then you'll have 3 months before Icons 27, and then 3 months before the final set, Galaxy at War, I think it was called.
Yeah.
That is a massive change that they didn't make a big deal out of, and I reckon it's going to have a huge impact on Star Wars Unlimited.
Yeah, I mean, especially for that, if they're releasing set 10, sorry, set 9.
Set 9 is Homeworlds.
Yeah.
This year.
Oh, yeah. So set Homeworlds will release in November, right?
No, it would normally release in November. We've already been told that it's coming forward 6 weeks to early October instead. And Icons is taking the usual release spot in November instead.
And then we're going to have a set release. You reckon they're releasing Skywalker in early February?
Yeah. In order to fit any kind of an even time scale between sets, I don't see any other way they can do that.
So then Homeworld's PQ
System
season,
overload, that's what it's called.
Homeworld's PQ season is going to be quite weird.
Yes.
With some of it in November probably, and some of it in.
And we already know
January.
as well that the regional in
it's late October,
is Homeworlds is not going to be legal for that. It'll be Ashes play. Yeah, that was confirmed as well.
Oh, so it'll just be Ashes all the way.
Okay.
Oh, because it's the very last weekend of October. And
Homeworlds will have been physically released, but it will not be legal for competitive Premier play at the regional.
I see.
Okay.
Interesting.
That was revealed a little while ago, if I recall correctly.
Huh. Yeah. So that's my next question was the regional about the regionals. But just before we move on to the regionals, May, is that a better time of the year or is it the worst time of the year? I know for me personally, it's a horrible time of the year, but for most people, what do you think?
I don't have kids, so it's better for me.
Yeah, I also like it more. I think it's better not during the middle of the summer, a bit before school's still in, as they say.
Yeah, exactly.
My main concern about the whole thing is the increased release cadence of sets. If we're going and setting a precedent of 4 sets per year, that scares the shit out of me.
It looks almost
that's
like
a slippery slope.
Yeah, isn't it? And Icons is such a weird set anyway. So if that's going to be treated almost like a proper set for the cadence, then we're in a weird spot, I think.
Although I was chatting with a guy, Michael Buchanerd, on the flight back, and he raised a very interesting point, which is that up till now, each set has had to have very, very basic cards in it so that each set can be an entry product for people to learn how to play. If Icons takes that role going forward on a year-by-year basis and all the basic cards can be in Icons, that frees up every set to have more interesting, crazy, weird stuff and less of the basic 2-3 neutral cards that you might need for a sealed or draft or something, but are fairly dull, really, otherwise.
But they've been very adamant that the Icon set is not made for draft, and that draft is still going to be an important part of the regular sets.
Indeed.
So they will still have to make a decent curve work in each color for draft, right?
I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure about that. And I'm also very, very suspicious of the Icons product, seeing how it's so much of it is just reprints. It's
It's
for
also
us,
half the size of a normal set ish, give or take.
yeah. But even size to the side, in a booster, mainly the rarer slots are going to even have the possibility of including new cards. All the regulars and sorry, commons and uncommons are just going to be reprints. So what I buy a pack and I might get two cards I'm interested in. That's a very weird proposition for
On
me.
the one hand, that's worrying, but on the other hand, after you've bought a few boosters, you're only interested in 2 cards out of 16 anyway, though, are you?
Well,
Yeah.
but at least I buy a box to open and to get those commons and uncommons. With
Fair.
icons, I don't know if I'm going to buy any product at all.
Will the icon boxes be as expensive as the regular boxes, or?
Maybe not.
There's the boosters are physically smaller. If I recall
Ah.
correctly, an Icons booster is 9 cards.
So they might be a fair bit cheaper though.
Mm-hmm.
That would make sense. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Utrecht because I love the location. That's very close to where I've been studying, and yeah, I love Utrecht as a city. It's just a beautiful town.
It's what, half hour south of Amsterdam, give or take?
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on traffic and so on. But
Okay.
it's Randstad. It's the very end of Randstad, but
Mm-hmm.
you'll take a commuter train. It's like taking the commuter trains in London. It
Okay.
takes a bit, but you'll get there.
It's not that far either, I would say. Like it takes,
no.
it feels really quick.
The really quick lines will take you like 15, 20 minutes to get there from Amsterdam. From Schiphol, if you just take a regular commuter train, it's 35 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. Utrecht is a university city, so
Okay.
it's packed with cheap lodging, and
That's good to hear.
it's a really nice town. How about it? Are we looking forward to this?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the European Galactics. When you get right down to it, given the change in how they're managing things, there's one Galactics a year in the US and there's going to be one Regionals a year in Europe. This will be our main event.
Right.
It better be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely try to make this one. I might not be able to make Galactics next year, but I'm certainly going to make Utrecht.
Did you hear the announcement as well, where they said that the Twin Suns showcases are going to be available on the prize wall at the regional?
Yeah.
Oh no,
saw
I
that.
didn't. But that's
Yeah.
good news. That's very good news.
I don't know whether they always planned that or maybe they didn't get picked up quite as well as they liked at Galactics. Maybe a bit of one, bit of the other, who knows? But either way, it's going to be the case. So if you want them and you haven't got them, you're going to have a second chance.
Yeah. Did were there any news that got out on how the format's going to look like? Is it like the regionals have been up to now with 2 main events, or do we know anything?
I don't think I've seen that information. No, the only other bit of information they've shown is a couple of cards you're going to be getting for participation and in various levels of stages of play.
Yeah, we saw that. Well, oh yeah, I forgot to ask that. With the participation prizes and the prize pool, are you happy with the cards and stuff you got and your loot from Galactics?
Yeah, I'm happy at least. I got a lot. The look mat is so nice. It looks like amazing. The mat, like, ooh, it's so nice.
And the card, you see the art of the card on
Yeah,
the
I know.
website, and yeah, it looks good. You see it in person, it blows you away.
It really does. It's so nice. Like they show the exact right look art. Like I love this, the Mandalorian scene and everything. Like it's such a aura moment. I really like it.
Yeah.
So and you get a lot of black and silver packs. You got a lot of prize sticks also. So I got like so I got all the ticks for the last chance qualifier and a few thousand.
Yep.
So I got like 3,500 just for showing up at Galactics.
What did you spend them on? More silver packs?
No, actually not. One of my friend needed to buy like all all the showcases, so I just handed him everything, and he
The
got what he
buttons
needed.
helped me out with doing exactly the same thing, which is the only way I was able to walk out with all 8 showcases. So yeah, Bothans are amazing. I got to meet like 3/4 of my teammates I'd have never met before, and the Bothans are so cool.
I
Props
have
to
to
them; they're an
agree.
amazing bunch of guys.
That is just a very nice bunch of guys.
Mm. The best bit of loot. So I got all the 8 showcases. I got a set of the plastic bases. I got a couple of packs of sleeves for a friend of mine who's a massive Thrawn fanboy like me, and he wants the Chimera sleeves. And the last remaining prize war tickets I spent on a couple of boosters just to rack them up. But the best loot I got was off a guy I met in the developer draft on Saturday morning, and he's carrying this around. And I'm like,
Mm.
that's pretty cool. Okay,
That
you've
is
got an
very
oversized
cool.
lightsaber. Great.
So
It's 3D printed. Awesome. But it's a bit more than that
it's a
because
playmat
Oh, it's a playmat.
absolutely, you
Oh,
unscrew it and there's your playmat right there.
so for the,
This
this is an audio only podcast. So Mark is showing us a I suppose 3D printed giant lightsaber.
absolutely, it's a 3D
Uh,
printed Luke from Return of the Jedi lightsaber. There's an Anakin one. It's a bit oversized. It's got to fit a rolled up mat inside it. And I want to get a little metal O-ring to put in there so I can hang it off my belt as I'm walking around and do all the cool
it's just
stuff.
that is
I'm
amazing.
in the process of finding out the details for the guy who created the STLs for this, so I can share them around because more people deserve these. These are amazing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it was a wonderful event. I came away with a huge amount of stuff. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, I had a
It's
friend who also played the developer draft, but
Mm.
in their pod they only had one developer, so not everybody got to meet the developer. So it was kind of a mismatch.
Yeah, we had the same one.
Okay. Maybe okay. So he was not super happy, but what can you do? He was happy. He
Yeah,
got
we
some
had a good
clicks or
chat with
something.
the dev over the actual drafting process and
Yeah.
asking questions. A good bants there, but you're right. So we had a 6-person draft, including the dev. So only 3 people got to play him. He's a 4th, which means that 2 people didn't get to play him as part of the drafting process.
right, right.
Yeah, I can see that being a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah.
I bet. I bet. So, any closing words as we wrap this up? Then, what is your big takeaway from Galactics, and what are you looking forward to?
To play more Star Wars easily. I only got to play one Twin Suns pod. That was a big disappointment. I wanted to play more, but
That sounds like a skill issue to me.
yeah, I know, a real skill issue. Like Galactics. I'm here to play, but I played with 3 really nice Canadians. We had a good time because the Twin Suns community here in Stockholm is not super great. We have a few, but it's not firing every week or something.
Mhm.
So
For
it was
Twin
fun
Suns, you
to
mean?
yeah, for Twin Suns.
Yeah.
For Premiere, no problem, but
Yeah.
Twin Suns is the most important format, as we all know.
As we all know.
And we used to have a guy who always had like 6 decks with him. We all played his decks, but now we all have our own. But some weeks I don't bring it, another week another guy doesn't bring it, so it's hard. But it was nice to finally like be able to play Twin Suns, and it fired pretty quickly. I joined those 3 Canadians, it fired in a few minutes, so it was really good.
So just briefly on the subject of Twin Suns, I want to shout out this app that a member of the community has developed for it called Take 30. Which does all the life totals and up and down. It's got a special blast mechanic where you blast them all. It's a really good little app if you're interested in playing Twin Suns and either counting down or counting up. It's on both Google and Apple iStores. Go for it. The guy who runs it is a really, really good guy.
Yeah, just ask Chris Toth in any
Yeah.
forum. He's a very nice guy. Yeah, I agree. Use that app. It's very good.
And in terms of other stuff for next year, I was concerned going into this one because last year was so bad in so many ways, despite it being a good experience in other ways. FFG had said publicly, we're aware of all the criticisms, we're taking steps to mitigate them, we will do something about them, but they never said what. And I know why. I had a chat with Jack about why, and these reasons make sense. They didn't want to make a commitment and be tied down to a particular form if they thought of something better along the way. So, yeah, okay. But it was still a case of we didn't know what steps they were going to be taking. And it turns out they took every step necessary and they fixed everything they possibly could, and that was grand. They've proven that they are learning from issues and in making improvements and changes for the drastic improvement and betterment of what's going on. Just keep the spirit, guys.
Yeah.
Just keep that. If you bring that to next year and do what you can, it was already an amazing weekend. It's going to be so much better at Disneyland. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. What better way to end this? Thank you all for listening, and may the force be with you.
Cheers, guys.
Bye bye.